Good evening, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Crawford Chronicles. I am one of your hosts, and I'm still clueless in Texas. Homer Chris is always
That's true.
here, and Sweet Bee Bones Browse. Fellas, how is your week going?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this week has been like 19 days, to be honest with you. I'm excited for the weekend. Uh man, we got Little League select baseball going starting up this weekend, or at least tryouts. I mean, so it's a nice little week and a half break, but now it's back to the grind. Bryles, how's your week going, man?
Good opposite of you, man. It's this has been a flash. I can't believe it's Thursday already. So anyway, we've had some pretty good Astros baseball and pretty exciting, and we're going to get into that here in a little bit. Just to let everybody know, we've already got our predictions in. We did it just kind of via text message between the three of us guys. So we'll get into that here in a little bit too. But yeah, it's been a great one, man. I mean, we've had lots of baseball that has been good. We've had World Cup. We've had a lot of good sports going on. PK, how's your week been, dude?
It's been busy. Been busy. I keep thinking that today was Friday, and I get reminded that I still have one more work day to get through.
Set that alarm one more time, man.
One more time. But man, other than that, dude, it's been good. A lot of, like you said, a lot of World Cup, a lot of losing on prize picks, and then some Astros baseball.
Damn it. Sorry.
What?
De Los Santos just gave up a home run. De Los Santos just gave up a home run. Now it's 2-1 Astros.
Well, spoiler alert, Chris is not paying attention to us, and he's watching the game.
It's true.
So
what happened today, Saturday, PK?
Yeah.
So
okay, let's get into this. Let's get into this recap for the Toronto series. You did win the series, as we all three correctly predicted, 2-1.
Yes.
And here's the thing. I think there's a couple things. You went back to back in one of the games by the three guys that I guarantee you nobody had that on their bingo card as the first three guys of the season to go back to back. So we'll get in that in a minute. But Joey Loperfido, dude, he came to play against Toronto. And Joey Lopes, was a pretty big, factor in these two games, the game yesterday and the game before. So let's jump right into this thing, man. We started off on Sunday, right, with our predictions. Like I said, we all went 2-1 Astros. We were going off the probables. You had Hunter Brown. Opening up the series, and then you had Peter Lambert, and then you finished with Burrows. So I think the way we looked at it was, and I believe that at the time of our predictions, Toronto did not have their probables out. It was all our favorite pitcher, TBD, that now is pitching in Toronto. But it ended up being a pretty damn good pitching matchup series-wise as far as names. So on Monday, you have Hunter Brown against Dylan Cease. On Tuesday, you have Lambert against Shane Bieber. And then yesterday was Burrows against U Savage. So, I was kind of in and out on the Monday game. The first text that I really remember seeing in our group was from Homer Chris, and it was, "Oh shit, Hunter Brown's got 77 pitches already." And and I was like, well, the fact that he has 77 and then he finished the text with already wasn't a good way to go about it. So he only ends up, his final line was 3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 Ks, 2 walks, and a home run. So not the same outing that we saw in his first one when he came back from injury, but he gives up 1 run. I mean, he had 5 pitchers that pitched on Monday, and 4 of the 5 gave up a run. So you dropped that game 4-2. Dylan Cease had 8 Ks. I mean, like, even with the Hunter Brown only going 3, like, he still only gave up 1 earned run in that one. Your offense just kind of was stagnant a little bit. Excuse me. I mean, you had 5 hits. I mean, you got on Cease early in that first inning. I believe it was Paredes had an RBI single up the middle, who's been swinging a really hot bat, except for tonight when I picked him to have over 4.5 fantasy points. Right now he has 0. So that's about the story of my life right now. But man, what did y'all think about the Monday game? Dylan Cease, Hunter Brown, and the L that we took to open the series.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be a tough game. I mean, just mainly because every time it seems like the Astros face Dylan Cease, he kind of has his way with them. And then, it was pretty kind of shocking to see how patient the bats were. I mean, when I sent that text to you guys, it was in the middle of the third, and Hunter Brown was at 77 pitches. I'm like, well, this ain't going to be good. But yeah, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot to talk about, as far as the game, the Hunter Brown game, as far as, the offense didn't show up, which, I mean, I kind of saw coming because, like I said, Dylan Cease usually pitches pretty well against the Astros. I mean, so that's all I got. And the Astros just won tonight. So there you go. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I actually had to rewind the tape on our Sunday podcast, and I was like, did I literally say that watch and the only game that we're going to lose is going to be the Hunter Brown game? And I literally said that in the middle of the predictions, and I've got to keep my mouth shut, man. I feel bad for the dude because we should have won that game. He didn't pitch very well. Let's put it that way. But so I didn't want to be Nostradamus on that, but unfortunately I was. And then, yeah, like Chris said, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about this game. We had a whole lot of pitching changes, as PK alluded to. Other than that, yeah, Brown, he probably had the worst outing he's had this entire season. So, we'll see. He will bounce back. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you also that was just kind of him still getting ramped up from his injury. Coming off of that, he's just not in the zone quite yet, but trust me, he'll get there. So, yeah, that's really all we had on Monday.
Well, look, if you're going to be Nostradamus and like forecast and foresee what's going on, I'm going to need you to break out the sports almanac and tell me what's going to happen so that
Right?
I can get ahead of this thing, right?
We'll be cranking it up to 88 miles an hour.
That's right. I kind of dated myself with that one. But yeah, look, man, that was just the way you started that series. I mean, you just kind of move on. I mean, you face Dylan Cease. I mean, he got paid $200+ million, right? To come over there and pitch for Toronto. So, I mean, you take your L. It sucks because you kind of expected Hunter Brown to be a little bit more productive, especially coming off of his first outing that was really productive. But you move into Tuesday's game. Peter Lambert is your starting pitcher on Tuesday. We talked about it on Sunday where, he's kind of this year's Jason Alexander, right? Is just coming in and giving you consistent starting pitching outings. And he did it again. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 6 Ks, 3 walks. But this was the game. This was the game that I kind of teased on the post for tonight's episode that the Astros went back to back twice in one game. So if you weren't, or in one night, if you weren't familiar with that, you had Yiner, Cam Smith, and Taylor Trammell go back to back. And Trammell's was a freaking bomb. Like I've listened to TK's like replay of the call, and it's just pure shock. And then they cut over to Jordan, and even he's shocked. But the reason that I said that we went back to back twice in one night is because on the same night in Single A Fayetteville, Anthony Huenzo, our number 17 prospect, Xavier Nayens, and Kelvin Alvarez also went back to back in their game. So it was a power game for the organization overall. And dude, this Anthony Huenzo is like he's our Houston 17, and Kevin Alvarez is MLB number 75, and then Nayens is MLB 94, which before I think Nayens was actually above Alvarez. But I say all that to say, look, you had a game where Loperfido I think comes in off the bench late in the game, and he ends up hitting what did he do? He hit a home run late, right? Yes,
yeah, he hit a 3-run bomb.
3-run bomb in the 11th, right, to give you the lead to break the game open for us. So that was the beginning of the Joey Loperfido series in Toronto. So let's go with you, Bones. How about your Tuesday night?
Oh, dude, that was fantastic. And that was the one that was the weird start time. That was the Tuesday 3:07 in the afternoon first pitch, just to make sure that everybody was still at work when they started the game. So anyway, I don't know why they do that in Toronto, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. The highlight of that you already alluded to, man. It was the Joey Loperfido 3-run bomb. I was unfortunately not watching it. I was in traffic listening to it on the radio. And that was the radio call was absolutely awesome, man. They were like, hey, Loperfido up. And then all of a sudden it's like, and he's got a deep one to right, and then back. And then, yeah, all of a sudden he was gone, man. So that was huge. And after getting to see all the highlights of that afterwards, my favorite one was the chick in the hot dog outfit that was just like mouth wide open, like couldn't believe what just happened. And then, yeah, we won that game by 2, man. So it was a lot of fun. I wish I could have seen the whole thing. Unfortunately, I listened to most of it. But at the same time, man, we came out, we fought. The back-to-back helped. And then the Joey Lopes with a 3-run bomb, I mean, absolutely sealed the deal. So, Chris, what'd you see?
Man, what I almost saw was the damn doctor, because like this game reminded me of the playoffs, with how much like the blood pressure was, going up and down, the stress of it. I swear, like Espada tried to hand him that game at least 4 times. And, it's just like it was so frustrating. But I will say all the comments on the Astros Twitter, was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, like, the big thing that I took away from it, like outside of the back-to-back home runs was I put out Espada needs to buy Loperfido a steak dinner, because I think this was one of those games that if the Astros would have lost, probably could have been the gateway to Espada's eventual termination, because like there was just so many decisions that he made in that game that I'm seriously like, and it's a good thing that I was watching it with Benjamin, because if I was watching it by myself, I probably would have said a lot of stuff that probably would have got me in trouble. So, but release the stress. You got the win, and Loperfido goes off. I mean, so hey, I'll take a W anytime I can take it.
Yeah, it was, and look, we're trying not to nitpick, right? But I mean, we're looking at the box scores while we're talking about all this. De Los Santos has another outing where he gives up two runs, right? Inning in a third, 3 hits, 2 runs. He was the only reliever out of the 1, 2, 3, 5. Out of the 5 relievers that came in, he was the only one that gave up some runs. One of the dudes that like is not getting a lot of run is Steven freaking Okert. That dude is like nails out of the pen.
Yeah.
I mean, last year it was like Brian King, right? It was Brian King, and this year it's Steven freaking Okert. I mean, that's what I'm gonna start calling him now. He gets the freaking in front of his name because it's lights out. It's lights out when that guy comes in.
Yeah, he's been fantastic lately. I mean, like, he's really become that shutdown bullpen piece before they hand it over to, the setup guy. I don't know if he's become the full blown setup guy. I know they went a little bit different way tonight since they used Hader, the last 2 nights. But yeah, man, you nailed it, dude. The guy's been nails. I mean, like it's kind of like he's going to be that entrance to. He's going to be. I think he's probably going to secure the 7th inning spot, and then then you're going to roll into your setup, whoever that is, and then you're going to roll into Josh Hader, who's been freaking fantastic since he's come back from the IL as well. I mean, so on the back end of the bullpen, you have a question mark or so, around your setup. I mean, but you go from 7th inning, and then if you can just get the 8th inning figured out, and then you hand that ball over to Josh Hader, whew, man, that's what you want to do. You shorten the game to 6 innings, and then you hand it over to your big 3.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been amazing since Hader's come back to what we can actually do with this bullpen, because I mean, you rewind the clock a little bit, and that's what we were complaining about so much, is our bullpen was just in disarray. And I feel like now that we've got Hader anchoring down that like 9th inning spot to go out and close games, then you can kind of put your pieces where they need to go. And honestly, I think the setup guy's got to be Brian King, man. I don't know what happened with Abreu, him being on the restricted list. The Astros have not released why he was on the restricted list. Just, hey, by the way, take 3 days off for whatever reason. You're not going to get paid, and we're not going to tell anybody what's going on. So that wasn't, very good, I guess. And not only that, Abreu's been very inconsistent this entire season. De Los Santos, who looked good at the beginning, as we've already talked about, he just has not had it these last, 4 or 5 games that he's been in. I'm not saying he's been a complete disaster, but it's been shaky at best. So I'm thinking Brian King's your 8th inning guy. And then I agree. Okert, man, he has been absolutely solid. So honestly, you could probably flip-flop Okert and King if you need to, just depending on how the lineup looks and how effective these guys are going to be. But Chris, I totally agree with you. Like Hader, man, he has been absolute nails since he's been back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, that has made our bullpen look 10 times better than what we've had to deal with for the majority of the season already.
Well, you can kind of just set your lineup or set your bullpen the way you want it, instead of and then mix and match based on usage. Like Chris, you talked about, like they went a little bit different tonight because they'd used Hader 2 games in a row. But when you have a guy like Okert who can come out of the pen and seemingly any inning and any situation, he can be that stopgap from that starter, to however you set up the rest of your bullpen. I'm glad you brought up Abreu in the restricted list because I was going to bring that up.
They activated him today.
Yeah, but in Toronto, he was on the restricted list, right? So we kind of joked around. We joked around like maybe a failed drug test, whatever. But I also saw some stuff on X where, some like I guess beat writers or guys that actually get paid to follow the team said it's possibly like a passport issue for having to go to Canada. So they never said anything. Doesn't matter now. They're back in the lower 48, so he's back on there. But yeah, I think you have a bullpen of Okert, King, Hader, 3 lefties just come out and just dominate, and you just let Abreu, I don't know, hang around and carry water or something. Him and De Los Santos.
Yeah, and Blue Ball's kind of turned it back around too, to where he kind of looks more like he did last year too. I mean, so
yes.
The bullpen is at least a handful of arms in the bullpen are slowly starting to put the pieces back together. Like we just talked about Abreu. They didn't even go to Abreu tonight, and you're talking about a 1-0 game. They went Imai, then they went Blue Ball, who pitched 2 shutout innings. Then they went to De Los Santos for the save. And you want to talk about Nostradamus? I'm going to start calling you Crawfordamus over there because he's like, yeah, I'm sure he'll give up a home run. And what does he do? He gives up a home run. So you know what, Crawfordamus, no more negative stuff.
Well, that's your new name. No more sweet.
Yeah, Crawfordamus.
Crawfordamus. All right, fair enough, man. I will say the one guy that I want to see be successful that I haven't seen what I really wanted to out of yet was Van Wy. He's had a couple of different, cups of coffee up here in the big leagues. I know he's been super successful down in Sugarland, but, I feel like when he's gotten up here, he's struggled a lot. So I hope he gets to figure out whatever he's doing in AAA and to get bumped back up, because I think we do definitely have a spot for him in this bullpen somewhere at some time, but it's not right now. So other than that, I think we're probably pretty set. And I'll stop saying De Los Santos coming in to give up a run, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, but I think Van Wy also. I think he got the save in that.
He did
that game
he
too.
He got the win. He
got the win. Yeah. So
he went 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, not earned.
Okay.
And then he got the special trip down to Sugarland. It's like, thank you for your service.
Straight to Sugarland.
Straight back down. And then they call up Colton Gordon just to send him back down.
That's right. Well, look, let's move into what's today? Wednesday's game. Your 6:07 start getaway game, which makes no sense, but whatever. The thing with this one is that you had Burrows against Trey Savage, and
it did not look good on paper.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Well, that was the loss. That in the predictions, I think that was the loss all the way around. Was Burrows, and that was even against TBD when we did the predictions, so we didn't even know who was pitching. But just based on what Burrows had been doing, he gets sent down to the bullpen. He comes, out of the pen, and he has a good, little outing. But they're like, okay, cool. Your 1 inning of relief pitching gets you. That was good enough. What we saw was good enough to get you right back on the hill on the bump in Toronto. And all the dude does is go 6 innings of 2-hit baseball and gives up 1 run. Like that's what he does. I mean, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe he's gonna flip the switch like Hunter Brown did a couple years ago. Hunter Brown went through the same thing. Hunter Brown was supposed to come in, be the ace. He got absolutely clobbered. They sent him down to the bullpen. I think it was a series against
Detroit.
KC.
No,
it was Detroit. It was okay. It was in Detroit. So maybe it's something about, these pitchers. They sent him down. He has one bullpen outing, was pretty damn good out of the bullpen for that one inning. He goes back to being a starter and becomes the Hunter Brown that we know today. Not going to say that's going to be Burrows, but I mean, maybe sometimes what you need to do is be like, hey, we'll send your ass to the bullpen if you continue this. Actually, you're gonna go to the bullpen.
You're gonna perform for this team.
And then he's like, well, I don't want to be in the bullpen, so maybe he puts it together. So, I mean, but like honestly, like that game, it all boils down to pitching. I mean, like you look at that game, and I know eventually we're going to get into this series where tonight's game just concluded about 10 minutes ago. I mean, outside of the offense, in the Loperfido, home run game, I mean, the offense has been pretty damn abysmal. I mean, like it's just right now, it's like this team has reverted back to the 2025 Astros. You're starting to get fantastic pitching. And like, that game, the game we're talking about now, the final game, I mean, granted, the Blue Jays also had 4 hits, but the Astros only had 4 hits. I mean, so Christian Walker's in a terrible, terrible funk. Granted, he got a base hit tonight that, the ball hit the bag. I mean, so he finally got some luck to bounce his way. Bryce Matthews has looked completely overmatched in his at-bats. I mean, I think there was one pitch in that Loperfido game. It was a hanging slider or something down the middle. He hacks at it and misses it. I know I'm getting a little bit too, covering too much stuff at once. So I'll let you guys go ahead and wrap up this Toronto series.
Yeah, no, you guys knocked it out of the park at the beginning. This was a Burrows surprise, is what it was, and I really hope that this is what we see out of him moving forward. This is what we expected with him coming out of spring training. I know that you've heard me probably say this 10 times at this point, but what we saw and the potential that he had is what actually showed up on the field on Wednesday. So, I remember I turned on the game just a little bit late, and I'm like, oh, wow. I was like, look at that stat line. I was like, okay, this is the Burrows that I wanted. Let's see what we got. And then fortunately, we were able to come through with a couple runs, 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, get that 3-1 win. And then like we already talked about, Okert, he got the win for this game. And then Hader obviously got the save, which we also talked about. So anyway, long story short, this was a small ball game, more or less, and we scratched this out. It wasn't a whole lot of hits. Not a whole lot of action, but hey, we were still able to steal one away in Toronto against the darling of the playoffs last year, Trey Savage, and he hasn't exactly been what Toronto's expected so far. So anyway, I'm glad we were able to take advantage, and I'm glad Burrows was able to come back.
That whole team, the whole Toronto team has not been what anybody thought they were going to be this year after last season's run. I was looking at the box score or the pitching line as you guys were talking, and this kind of falls into what we just discussed about our current bullpen and how it should be going forward. Forget that it's Burrows. It's starting pitcher X goes 6 innings of 2-hit baseball, 1 run, and you hand it to Okert, who goes an inning of 1-hit baseball, no runs. Then to Brian King, 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs. Hader comes in, 1 inning, a K and a save. You burn through 3 guys of 1 inning of 2-hit baseball, 4 hits overall for the night. Now, I'm not saying your starter has to go out there and give up only 2 hits, but the point of what I'm saying is your starter goes 6 innings of a quality start, and you've got 7, 8, 9, 3 lefties that you've got to go through to put runs up on the board. That's a pitching lineup that is a recipe for success. In a low-scoring game where nobody wanted to do anything offensively, and Chris, you hit it earlier, like this offense as a whole here recently, even though we've won now 4 series in a row, you've had
4 series.
You've had too many ups and downs of the offense disappearing and then showing up. I mean, you had a 9-run game the night before and come back to 3. Bryles, you said Trey Savage has not been Trey Savage from last season, where the kid shot up their single A ball all the way up to Game 7's pitcher in the World Series. He hasn't been that guy. He's still got the stuff, but your offense just disappears, and you have to have an outing like that from Burrows and from your bullpen to hold it down. So, I'm not trying to nitpick, just kind of saying like this is where we're at right now. You're coming to tonight's game. We were 5 games under 500 coming into tonight, I think.
4 or 5.
4 or 5 coming into tonight. You got 2, like you're 2.5 back in the division. As crappy as like you've been playing, You've got a team that you just beat. The team you just beat at home in a series like last week in Detroit. Now you got a 4-game set with them, and you send out Imai for tonight against Troy Melton, who Bryles talked about on Sunday a little bit. I mean, the dude is 4-0, 239, young kid, but we all know what Imai has had, how his season has gone from the shoulder fatigue after his first start to can't get out of the first inning to having like these spectacular, outings of 7 innings, 8 Ks or whatever, whatever. To you're throwing Imai and Arrighetti, who's had his own issues the last 4 starts. But all Imai does today is, let me give you the line because the game's over. You like Chris said, it's 2-1. I mean, hell, he had 6 Ks through 3 innings tonight. I know that. So his
he finished with 10.
6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk. Huge for him. And the 10
Solid.
Ks. Dude.
Yeah. I never doubted him.
Okay. Yeah, none of us did. Just like we never doubted. Well, you doubted. You never doubted Kikuchi. Me and Bryce did. But
yeah, that's true. I never did.
But look, man, Detroit's a terrible team. You have to, you got to win the series, right? Just to keep maintaining your thing. And we'll get to it in a minute once you guys get your piece because we're running out of time here. But Imai with 10 Ks to start the series is huge. Is a huge way to get this series going in Detroit, where you need to beat a team that's worse than you.
Yeah, I mean, now this is back-to-back outings for Imai, where he's, had 10 plus strikeouts. I mean, we really thought that, he was going to be a wild card. Looking at, after that game against the Royals, where he gets booted in the first inning, he comes back, has a fantastic start against whoever he pitched against. I don't remember, and then he had another fantastic outing tonight. I mean, so. Hopefully this is maybe he's getting more comfortable. I know we've had this, we've all said this. Maybe this is where the turning point where he's comfortable playing in the United States. I mean, who knows? I mean, but hey, I'll take it. Fantastic game. You scored playing small ball. I love it. And you set yourself up to take the first game, and you did. So there you go.
Yep, stole the words out of my mouth, man. It's Imai on his second, start in a row here where he looked really, really good. And also Melton with his little bit of inexperience, definitely showed in this game. And PK, just like you said, the Tigers have not been a good team. They've been kind of on a downstroke over the last 2-3 weeks, and it's definitely showing right now. We need to jump in here and take advantage of that for this entire series.
Yeah, no, look, why don't you give them the probables for the remaining 3 games of this series, Bryles? Hit us with it.
All right, let's go. So Friday, Spencer Arrighetti 7-3 with a 3.13 ERA, looking to bounce back after that last outing that we talked about earlier in the broadcast. He's going up against, I believe it's pronounced Kiter Montero, 3-5, with a 3.68 ERA. That is your Friday matchup. Saturday, our favorite pitcher, TBD, against Framber Valdez, 4-5 with a 3.91 ERA. And then Sunday, TBD for both teams. So we're going to find out who's going to be pitching on later this week, probably sometime tomorrow. But based on that info, gentlemen, we've already talked about it. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if either the Saturday or Sunday is going to be Christian Javier. I mean, the reports already came out. He finished up his final rehab start, so I'm pretty sure it might be Sunday, but I'm thinking Sunday is going to be Christian Javier. I mean, I don't know, man. This team is just so unpredictable. I went with the split. That was before this game came off. I mean, so. It's too late to change it, so I'm just going to stick with my guns and go with the split.
Yeah, I first went 2-1 Astros until Bryles said his prediction, and I was like, oh, damn, okay, I need to add another game in there. So
I raised you one.
That's right. He raised me one. So I went from 2-1 Astros to a split. It's just hard to win it's hard to win three out of 4. I mean, and like Chris, you hit it. Like it with the team offensively inconsistent. The pitching, obviously inconsistent. I mean, yeah, Imai went out tonight and balled out. But Spencer Arrighetti's coming off of his 4 starts in a row where he's looked like not the Spencer Arrighetti that came into this season from Sugarland. So you don't know what you're going to get with Spencer coming into tomorrow. Fromber, I mean, I think Fromber pretty much handled us in Houston when he came, although his 4.5 record and almost 4 ERA is not what you expect from a 3-year, let me see, $115 million contract that you paid, but I'm sure he's got a little bit of vengeance for the Astros, because I do believe that there was something recently about Fromber saying that the Astros never even reached out to him. Now, he could just be saying that just because he, has got his panties up his ass, but who knows? So he might have a little bit more, oomph for this start again, just to kind of show them. But I took 2-2 split just to be kind of safe there. I could easily see this going 3-1. And with that, Riles, give us your prediction for this.
Yep, I took 3-1. Just like you said, I mean, obviously, I had no idea that we were going to win tonight, but I knew that Imai had pitched well in his previous.
Yes,
oh, yeah, did. That's right. I did.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Crawfordonis over here. Don't lie to the people. Don't lie to the people.
So I went 3-1. Imai had a good start last time out, and he repeated that again tonight. So I got the freebie on that one. The other thing I did know about is the fact that we're skipping Skubal in their rotation, so we don't have to worry about him. And if you guys know Framber Valdez just like I do, there is no way that he gets to repeat that exact same performance like he did in Houston. I think he blew all of his good luck, all of his mojo, all that stuff in Houston to show out and look good. And I think we're going to tear him up. And then the other thing that I talked about earlier was that, this has not been a good Tigers team. So I think we probably will end up losing one of these games. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we win all 4, because I think we've got an opportunity to. But at the same time, I think we go 3-1. We'll probably lose one of these TBD games, most likely. My guess is on Sunday, because of an Espada lineup on the getaway game. So that's my prediction, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, look, these next 16 games, dude, are pretty important for the Astros, especially going into the All-Star break, because I think these next 16 games are gonna, depending on how you go in them, is going to dictate what you're gonna do at the end of July. Come, when you come back from All-Star break, if you are terrible in these next 16, I mean, like, are you really gonna buy? And we really didn't get into it. We really didn't get that much into it. Maybe on Sunday we can get into the buying. Is this team going to be buyers or sellers? I know what's been reported, but I have a couple things that I want to talk about. So maybe we'll do that on Sunday night. But these next 16
absolutely
games,
make time for that. Absolutely.
The next 16 games are going to be really important for this team. Because like I said, it's going to set you on the track on what you're going to be looking for come the end of July for Chris's favorite time of the season. So with that, man, I hope you guys.
Before we wrap it up, I got one thing to say. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Kevin Biggio is killing it down in AAA.
Yeah, he is.
And straight, man.
He should be up. Matthew should be down. That's all I have to say. PK,
and he's been killing it since we went down there. I'm just saying.
3 games with a home run. 3 straight games.
It's really. I'll leave it at that. PK, take us home.
Look, the aura is real. The Crawford Chronicles aura is real.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure I think I said that right. But yes, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We love coming on here and talking to you guys about the Astros, about our team, about y'all's team. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the Thursday evening. Go watch the USA Soccer. It's about to come on. Have a great weekend. We'll be back on Sunday. We're going to talk a little bit. We should get some trade talk going on and what we all think the Astros should be doing. So until then, I am still Clueless in Texas. Homer Chris, Subi Bones Browse. And this is the Crawford Chronicles.
Oh, man.
Chris, how excited are you about Sunday's episode about trade talk?
Dude, we're about to start this back up. I could talk trades all night.
We're going to have a 2-hour episode.
That's right.
There you go. I like yeah.